alto versus the tenor recorder, which will win? I get so many questions from beginners asking me, should I start with the alto or the tenor recorder? Let me break it down for you. Pitch. The alto is in F and the tenor is in C, but what does that actually mean? So if I close all of the holes on the alto and I play a scale upwards like this, that is the scale of F major. If I close all of the holes on my tenor and play the same fingerings, we hear a scale of C major. So the first important consideration in terms of pitch will be your global sound. Do you prefer to make your music in this higher range, or this more deeper sound? The sound is your decision and yours alone, and it's so important. If you're going to invest hours, years into learning an instrument, make sure you like the sound of it first. For this reason, adult beginners often choose a tenor recorder over the soprano, which is an octave higher. Put it together. We know that beginner sound. Tenor and the soprano are in the same key. They have the same way of reading the music and the fingerings, but the soprano is an octave higher. For some, it's bird-like and vibrant. For others, squeaky. But wait, what was that about fingerings? Yes, to play recorders in different keys, the alto in F, the tenor in C, we read the music differently. Look at this. The fingering for an E on an alto is, yet on a tenor that same note is. Why? That's a whole other story. Okay, recorders have existed for centuries. The pitch and thus key was not standardised. Original historical instruments have been found in every degree of the scale. A lot of early music was not written for a specific instrument, so we recorder players have to adapt. We also arrange and perform compositions originally for voices, keyboards, strings, organ, you name it. So as long as the instrument fits around the notes we're trying to achieve, it's all good. This necessary flexibility means we would actually be doing ourselves a disservice by requiring specially transposed music all the time, because transposition and key flexibility is an essential skill, and basically recorder players just have big brains, okay? Breath control. What does this mean for my versus video? Yep, if you're choosing to start with a tenor or an alto, do know that they are read differently. So, which one? Tenor may be easier for you if you have already played other wind instruments in C. Flute, oboe, even recorder back in the day. It's amazing how much our brains retain. If you start with the alto recorder after already playing, say, the flute, you will go through a period of having to adapt. This is totally possible. It's not as bad as it sounds, but please do be aware of it. Also, if you're coming from the clarinet, the alto might actually be easier in the beginning. Our starting fingerings are C, D, E, the same. I think they do diverge more later on. Any clarinetists want to enlighten us in the comments? Because I am not. So, what else should we consider? Repertoire. For beginners, there are loads of pieces out there, loads. Your choice of either recorder will not hold you back. Oh, of course I should show you this. I have written a beginner's method for C recorders, the soprano or tenor. This is the Hal Leonard recorder method. It's not, however, suitable for altos in F, because we read them differently. There are lots of wonderful alto methods out there. I've done videos on that. During the Baroque, the alto recorder was the star of the show. It wasn't the only one by any means, as scholars such as David Lassotsky have demonstrated in his brilliant book, Not Just the Alto. But a lot of published Baroque editions will be scored for the alto recorder. There is music out there for the C recorders, the tenor and soprano, but there's just not quite so much of it. So if your aim is specifically to get into your Baroque sonatas, your THOMANN, your Bach, your Vivaldi, you might want to go for the alto. But don't let that put you off. There is so much out there for the tenor as well. The top lines of Renaissance pieces can often be played on C instruments. Also, if you're into folk music, having something in C might be a little bit easier because that's similar to the range of the D whistle. Let's talk about range. Alto. Tenor. The same, just a fourth apart. Dynamics. Both. I'd say they have a comparable range of dynamics. There is much more difference between different models of recorder within the same size category, but that's a topic for another video. Price. Tenor recorders are often a bit more expensive because they're bigger. For a plastic Yamaha starter instrument, an alto comes up as €38 and a tenor as €96. For a wooden intermediate instrument by Mollenhauer, the canter alto is $291, the tenor is $477. And for a broader, more Renaissance or folky sound, the Mollenhauer Kinsiker alto is $678, the tenor version is $877. So there is a price difference, but I hope this won't steer your decision too much. Remember, a musical instrument can be an investment and companion for life if taken care of well. It's not like an iPhone that dies after 2 years. Choose well and choose wisely. And if you have to spend a bit extra to get what you want out of an instrument, it will pay dividends over the course of your life. So the last and maybe most important consideration is ergonomics, the size and how it feels to play. My alto recorder is around 45 centimetres, a tenor around 60 something. The tenor is a bigger stretch. This doesn't have to be prohibitive. I'm a small person, I have small hands. Let's measure them. My handspan is 18 centimetres, but for some people, this larger size of the tenor can be tricky. Why? The sticking point may not be your handspan, but your wrist mobility. If you look at my hand position when I play the tenor, my right wrist is something like this. The left one is usually fine, the right one is the tricky one. Luckily, there are lots of so-called comfort tenors on the market to help you with exactly like this. There are tenors with a bent neck. This has the advantage of allowing you to raise your hands up as you're playing. Other comfort tenors have extra keys designed to help you bring your fingers together and not have such a wide splay. So most tenors will have a C and a C sharp tenor for your right little finger. My tenors always do personally. Other tenors can have keys for those fingers here. That's my left ring and my right index fingers. This brings my fingers together. I forgot to mention this when filming, but there is of course the new Seago tenor by Kunat. It feels like an alto, it has the stretch of an alto, but it sounds like a tenor, so perfect for those with more limited mobility. Finally, some tenors also have a ring on the back, allowing you to play with a sling, taking the weight off your thumbs, which can help. So with all of these accommodations, it can actually become easier to physically play a comfort tenor than a regular alto. And the last physical consideration is the amount of air involved. Being as I've recorded this separately, I have no idea what the result will be. The tenor does take a bit more air, but I'll be honest, it's not a huge amount and you get used to it really quickly. Just like with any wind instrument, you adjust to how it feels to blow as you get into practicing it. I personally find the larger instruments like the tenor a bit easier as I can feel I can let the air flow. And with smaller instruments like the soprano, I really have to control it. So what do you reckon? Do you disagree? Have I missed anything out? Let me know in the comments. As always, you can subscribe to my channel by clicking on my face down here in the corner. You can support the channel on Patreon over here. Come and join the team, and here's some more videos. Thanks for watching and have a great day. Bye!